guys, thanks so much for clicking on my channel. We're all smiles over here. I am with Sanja Slay asking a question. Will Sanja help you keep a smile for today? And hopefully the answer is yes, you guys. I'm trying not to keep it long, but y'all already know. If it gets good, I'm going to keep on talking. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to go. The nugget today is no example needed. But before I get to running my mouth, let's go and do what? Check out this manifestation chart and then we're going to talk about it. Okay, let's see. And I pulled out one, and that one says what? Spiritual growth, which is what? Spiritual discovery. Listen, no example needed. You don't need an example over there. Guess what? God has given all of us something to do, be, and have. And some of us are doing what? Sitting on a log, procrastinating. And if you are procrastinating, that means you're doubting. And if you're doubting, that means what? Fear is in the mix. And now you're finding yourself saying, in order for me to do this or be that and have this, I need a mentor. I need somebody who's already done it so I know how to do it. I need an example. And God is saying, just get started. Just get to moving in that direction. You're like, no, God, I need an example. Who in my family has already done this before? Who in my family who has gotten to this rank? Who do I know? Who do I know? Who can I call? Who? And while you asking all those questions to get an example so that you can move forward in what God has called you to do, be, and have, you sitting on a log. Ain't nothing happening. And you find yourself year after year in the same place, around the same people, doing the same thing. Which means what? You're in the same attitude. You're in the same depression. You're in the same woe is me. You're in the same miracles don't come true. You're in the same I ain't gonna ever manifest. You're in that same route. Why? Because you're still waiting on an example, waiting on a sign. Remember I told you the scribes and the Pharisees were saying, Jesus, give us a sign and then we'll believe. That's what you sound like over there, like a Pharisee and some scribes over there. Saying, God, I need an example. I need a sign. I need a mentor. And what did Jesus tell them? He said, I ain't gotta tell you nothing. I ain't gotta give you a sign. I don't owe you nothing. I ain't got to prove nothing to you. And that's what God is telling you. You don't need an example. Think about it. You remember Noah, who built the ark. God said what? Noah, my man, you've been obedient, staying aligned and connected. I'm going to need you to build an ark. What did Noah say? Will do, God. Yes, sir. And amen. My answer is yes. Noah did not say, hey, God, I've never built an ark before. Can you give me a couple of days, God? Matter of fact, no, I'm going to need a few weeks. Matter of fact, I'm going to need a few months. I'm going to need a whole year because I got to find somebody who's already built the ark so I can be mentored by them. And they could tell me what tools to use and whatnot. So I'm going to need to get an example of how to build this ark. And then I'll get back with you to let you know when this project is done. No, Noah did not do that. No one had ever built an ark before. A lot of times when God called you to be, do, and have something, there is no example of it. You will be the example, which means that you will become a trailblazer. You can't say you trailblazing and you walking through somebody else's path that they cut down and chopped down and made for themselves. You ain't no trailblazer. You're not. You're not a trailblazer if you're walking through paths that somebody has already created. That's why when God called you to be, do, and have something, guess what? You're the only example for it. So don't be looking for a mentor. You got to trust God. And that's what happened to Noah. When God told him to what? Build the ark, he began to move forward, even though he had no idea what an ark was. He didn't have no idea how to get started. But he said, you know what? I don't know what an ark is, but I know it's going to help with some water to keep me and my family and the animals from drowning. So I know about a little boat or whatnot. I know how I can make stuff float on water. So I'm going to design something that can float on some water. And as he began to move forward in that direction, what began to happen? God began to develop in him the wisdom that he needed, right? The knowledge that he needed, right? The revelation that he needed to build that ark. All because he began to move forward in that thing that God had called him to be, do, and have. It's the same thing with you. And Noah knew he couldn't look for no example. What he did, he looked to God, which came his help, right? And when you look from God to get your help, you're going to get help. Why? Because he's the one that put idea in your head. He knows what it looks like. He had already seen you do the thing. What you're doing is what? It's like old history. What God has called you to be doing half, that's old. He already seen you completed that thing. Whatever he's called you to be doing half, it's already completed. He's already seen you in the workings. Some of y'all act like you're in real time. This ain't no real time you working with right now. Everything that God is asking you to do, you ain't already done it. He's just trying to get you to go catch up. You better catch up. You better catch up. That's what happened to me. I said, oh, shucks, I better catch up. I better catch up. I already completed this thing. I already completed all this stuff. I got to catch up to where God already know where I am. But if you're not all the way aligned and connected, what happens? You searching for a mentor, searching for an example, looking for signs, saying, hey, who out there has done this? I need to ask them some questions because I don't know. I don't know. That's that mind, body, and ego working, trying to figure it out. As you move forward, you don't have to figure anything out. God, I told y'all before, as you begin to move forward in what God has called you to be doing half, as you move forward, it's just like you running what? A 5K or a marathon. It's always people on the side holding water for you. So when you get thirsty and you about to give up, they on the sidelines cheering you on. You're almost there. Here, drink some water. And that water that they give you and that cheer they give you is just enough to keep you going, to give you enough strength, right? It's the same thing in your walking journey to be doing half what God has called you to be doing half to get this thing finished. God has people set up. You may not know who they are. You may not know who they are. He already have them set up, but you got to at least get to them to get what they have for you. You're always trying to figure out everything at once before you have even moved forward. You say, okay, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that, I need this. I'm gonna need somebody to do that, I'm gonna need somebody. Well, have you even started? Have you even started on that thing God has called you to be doing half? You haven't, so you don't need this. Etc. You don't need none of that. What do you need to get started for right now? I need that. Go and start doing that right now. If God has called you to be a chef, a baker, or whatever, you saying, well, I'm going to have my own restaurant. No, you didn't get no restaurant first. I'm just being honest with you. Start in your kitchen. You have a kitchen? Do you have a kitchen? You could be homeless, okay? You could be homeless, and you ain't got no kitchen. You better go to Goodwill when you get a couple of dollars. Get you one of them hot plates, okay? Find you someone to plug it up. Find somebody to give you some flour, some water, some butter and whatnot, and get the cooking on that crock pot, on that hot plate, okay? That's where you start from. You don't need no restaurant. No. You start what you have right now, because that's how God will test you. That's how God will test you. Remember the lady? She was gonna make a whole cake. I call it a whole cake. It was gonna make a little pancake thing for she and her son. Then they were gonna die. And then the prophet came around and said, hey, listen, if you feed me first, then you and your son should live, right? And what did she do? She only had a little bit. She only had a little bit. And she went ahead and used the little bit that she had. And she ended up what? Living. She and her son. Her barrel never went dry. Her cupboard never went dry. It's the same way. You only have a little bit. You only have a little bit. And you think that little bit that you have is not enough. Which means what? You're going to die anyway. But if you would get started with that little bit that the lady did. She got started with it, but she didn't use it for herself. See, that's the thing. Oh, this is good. Everything that God gives you to do be in half, and if you have a little bit, you have to remember this little bit is not for you. It's not. This is servitude. You're doing what you're doing to serve. Everything that God has called you to be doing have is to serve his people. It's an example, in other words, to let them know that he got them. Everything that you do, if it's not in servitude, then you're wasting your time. You might as well go on, fix what you got, and y'all go ahead and die in that project, in that whatever you're working on. If you're not doing it in servitude of God, you're going to die. So why not fix it? Start on the little bit you have, but do it in servitude of God, right? You get what I'm saying? I hope that made some sense to y'all. But some of y'all won't get started with the little bit that you have. And you know what I told you? God said if you're faithful over the what? The little bit. If you could just start with a little bit, he'll make you a ruler over much. And listen, you won't have to go look for a mentor. You just got to get started first. And like I said, your mentor is God. Your mentor really is God. If he put the information in you to do, be, and have, then you already know he knows what you're supposed to get and what you need to get it done. He will impart that within you. And like I said, when you get further enough ahead, he will supply the people for you. You won't have to go looking. You won't have to. Your mind, body, ego won't have to go looking for it. It'll just be there at the right opportune time. And you won't feel like you're having to beg, feeling embarrassed. Like, I don't want to feel like and seem like I'm dumb or like I'm not intelligent enough to know how to do this. I want them to know that I'm intelligent. No. When you're working with God and you're moving forward and you're trusting him, staying all the way aligned, connected, it'll just come to you. People will be ecstatic to work with you. They'll just come out the woodworks. Some of them not even your same race. Some of them are male, female. It may be a dog that comes across your path, and that dog may have the answer. It may be something that dog does. You go, oh, now I know what I'm supposed to do. Because the dog was able to do something crazy to prick your mind to get you to get the point. And now you have the answer. It's just that simple. But a lot of y'all are looking for examples, and you really don't need it. Y'all know when I got this golden nugget at, was it 3:45 this morning? I was turning over in my bed, and I heard, no example needed. I go, huh? What? No example needed? That's what I heard, no example needed. So I got my phone right quick, like, got my pen from my phone and wrote in there, no example needed. I could barely read it when I woke up. I already write like a doctor, but when you have sleep and you trying to write, I was like, that's a P. Is that a P, God? God, what you tell me? Because I was knocked out, y'all. And I read it, no example needed. And that's what God is telling you. You don't need an example. Why? Because you will be the example. Maybe for somebody else. But this right here, what he has called you to be, do, and have, you don't need an example. Why? Because you are trailblazing with God in this one. You really are. Y'all, I'm at 12 minutes, but I hope y'all got this thing. And I hope you got it so good to where you have denounced, dropped procrastination, which means what? You kicked doubt out the way, which means fear went right along with it. And now you're standing in your truth. That whatever you have to do to get this done, God has all the answers for you. You just have to seek him first. Seek him first. And in what? All your ways, acknowledge him. And he'll do what? Direct your path. No examples needed. The help will come when you get to moving forward. Did you hear me? The help will come when you get to moving forward. I'm going to say it again. The help will come when you get to moving forward. Say it with me. The help will come when you get to moving forward. Help is on the way. Help is on the way. Help is on the way, but help can't be on the way if you ain't even got started. Did that make sense? If you ain't got started, then people don't know you really need help. They're going to say, oh, they ain't got started, so they don't need my help yet. That's what happens, y'all, over here. I'm still talking. But listen, if you ain't moving forward, then God is not going to send who you're supposed to have in the next section of this thing to you. Because you ain't got started. You ain't got to that point yet. But just as soon as you get to moving in that direction. Doesn't matter how little that thing is you have to work with. Work with it in servitude to God. Say, God, this belongs to you. I'm not doing this of my will. This is for servitude to you and to the people, so that it will be a blessing. Whatever it is, whatever it is, whatever it is. And watch how help will begin to come. And you won't have to figure anything out. You won't need a mentor. Things will just start coming together like puzzle pieces. You'll be able to pick it. So, oh, that piece go right there. You know how if you doing a puzzle and you just keep picking up the wrong pieces, you're like, dog, I ain't gonna ever finish. But when you are really in the zone, not auto zone, but in God's zone, You pick up the right pieces and they be just, oh, I see the picture coming together. Oh, I know what it is. Oh, I see the picture. Oh, it's looking good. It's coming together. Oh, I'm almost done. Finished. And now the whole puzzle is complete. All because you got to move forward and you understood that the only example that you needed, now I'm just repeating myself, was God. He got you. Get started in whatever he's called you to be, do, and have. You ain't got nothing to be afraid of. Let me say this. Why are you afraid of winning? Some of y'all are not afraid of what if I fail, because you ain't done that a lot. This used to be me. That's why I have to make sure I stay aligned and connected, because if not, I find myself in the same space. You used to failing at stuff. You ain't got used to that. But now, this thing seems like I may just really, this just made it just really happen, right? So now it's not a fear of failing. It's a fear of succeeding. That's like oil and water. That's a trick of your mind, body, ego. We like to call the enemy. You will win, and you're going to embrace your winning. I told you, this is past tense that you're in right now. God has already seen you celebrate over this thing. He's already seen you help so many people because you became successful. Don't get into the space of selfishness. Oh, y'all, I hope this isn't going to be long, but I just got this. Don't be in the space of selfishness to where you allow fear to cause you to what? Be afraid of succeeding, because your success, the success that's coming from this that you're about to do right now, is going to be a catapult to bless so many others. So if you allow fear, doubt, procrastination to come in because you're saying, what if I succeed? It's taken away from the ripple effect of blessing and serving everybody else. So you have to ask yourself, do I want everybody else to get blessed from this thing? It's not just about you. It's never been about you. Never. Only the vessel of who you are. That's all it's about. Take that flesh away, that humanness away, right? Take that away and get into spirit being. It's about you serving. So don't get in that space of, what if I really do this thing? What if I do it? Oh, wait, you just did it. Ain't nothing big about that. The only thing gonna change when you win is that you're gonna be a blessing to everybody else. So please don't get tricked about, what if I succeed? Like I said, you know what it is to fail. And you know what happens when you fail. Like I said, you're in the same little slump, around the same people, doing the same thing. But when you begin to win and move forward and actually succeed, then God elevates you even the more. And servitude is there. Servitude is there. There's nothing to be anxious or afraid of when it comes to winning. Okay? You own a winning team. So how can you be in a space of being afraid to succeed? You are on a winning team. You are on a winning team. You chose a winning team, the side of God, right? So shouldn't that tell you that if you're afraid that what if I win? Who is that information? Where is that information coming from? Where is it coming from? I'm almost 20 minutes. If you are afraid to win, but you picked a winning team, where is that information coming from? It's not coming from God. And when you know that that's not coming from God, then you say, whatever, I'm going to win this thing. I ain't afraid to win anymore. Why? Because you picked the winning team. Y'all get it, got it good. I hope so, because I started running my mouth again. Y'all know I can talk. Y'all know I can talk. I can run my mouth. But truly, truly, I hope y'all got this golden nugget. You don't need an example at all. Just move forward and watch what God does. Watch what he does. It's a lot of servitude that you're going to be able to do just by you taking one step at a time. You will not be overwhelmed. Help is on the way, but you first have to do what? Get started. All right, I'm gonna go for real this time, but I hope y'all got it. If you didn't, rewind this thing and watch again. But in the meantime, in between time, if you take just a little bit of what I'm telling you and apply to your life to the best of your ability, you won't ever have to do what? Mask a smile. Why? Because your smiles will always be genuine. I'll talk to y'all soon. Be blessed, stay blessed, be blessed, stay blessed, be blessed, stay blessed. Y'all know what's coming next. Ciao.